A fix for paving on this northern Kentucky road. Diane on your side told you about the complaints from neighbors, and now, well, they are being heard.
And the road work is supposed to save taxpayer dollars, right? While extending the life of the road by nearly a decade. But Jake Ryle sat down with officials to discuss what changes can be made and when.
We first reported on Fort Wright residents being upset about a new way of repaving roads. But now we know today that same method is being used here on Turkey Foot Road as well. That report came out several weeks ago. Now we know the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet plans to do a more traditional approach to Turkey Foot Road.
Turkey Foot's what we'd like every road to look like. You know, it did exactly what it was supposed to do.
Bob Yeager, chief engineer for the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet, is overseeing 5 road projects just like this one on Turkey Foot Road.
If everything goes well, it looks a whole lot like any other operation that we might have done.
But that's not the case on Amsterdam Road.
We have done our inspection on this particular road and have determined that the work is unacceptable and corrective work will be done.
The road comes at a cost savings to taxpayers, nearly 1/5 what typical projects would cost. Yeager says they used a method called a fog seal, combining rocks and blacktop. Tom Turlow says he's not a fan of the bumpy road.
It has taken the image of the city down several notches. You wouldn't find this in Indian Hill.
Yeager says the corrections will come at the contractor's expense, not taxpayer dollars. And it's up to the contractor to find a solution.
And we'll have to accept or reject that. They can't just come in and say, well, we're just going to spray it a different color and call that good.
I haven't seen anybody, but everybody has the expectation that they'll pop up one day and fix it.
The contract is up the end of October, so all the work will have to be done before then. So we still have about 6 weeks to make the corrections. It's also before it gets cold, before we do anything, so that corrective work. I don't suspect that it would go over the winter and we'd leave it that way.
In Fort Wright, Jake Ryle, 9 on your side.